Hey guys, this is Spartacus here and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I think, just listen here, how I think remastered Call of Duty games should work in the future. So this is all my opinion. I didn't take any of these opinions from comments I've seen in videos, other YouTubers' opinions, because as a matter of fact, I don't think any YouTuber that I've seen has actually made a video like this one that I'm doing right now. So let's just get right into it, you guys. So as we all know, we have Modern Warfare Remastered, which is our first and only Call of Duty game that has been remastered so far, right? We have no idea if we are actually going to be getting a remastered Call of Duty next year, but we'll just have to wait and see for more information, because we all know that I think we kind of all agreed upon that the next Call of Duty game is going to be World War II, which should be a pretty good game. We'll just have to wait and see for a trailer and all that kind of information. But anyway, let's talk about remastered Call of Duty games here. So I really want to put my opinion out there how I think remastered Call of Duty games should work, because judging from what we have in Modern Warfare Remastered, there are some things in that game that I have to disagree upon, which might be why I actually play Infinite Warfare a lot more than I play Modern Warfare Remastered. And as a matter of fact, I'm only Prestige 1 in Modern Warfare Remastered, and I think I'm really close to Prestige 2 in that game, but yeah, I just don't play Modern Warfare Remastered that much, and there's just some things that they add to the game that I really think they shouldn't have from remastering an older Call of Duty game. So anyway, the very first thing, which this reason I'm about to tell you is a really big reason of mine, this is something that I think is probably the main topic of this video, is I really think that when they come out with a remastered Call of Duty game, it should be the only Call of Duty game coming out that year. So we all know that Modern Warfare Remastered, the only way to play that game was by buying the Legacy Edition bundle of Infinite Warfare, which was the newest Call of Duty game, right? So this year, for this Call of Duty's, for this year Call of Duty, we got two Call of Duty games. Technically two new Call of Duty games, because it is a remastered one, but we got two Call of Duty games this year, and for me, that is super overwhelming. I do not like that. I really don't like having so much two Call of Duty games in 1 year, because every year we get a new Call of Duty game, and having two of them in just 1 year is super overwhelming for me, especially since that each of those Call of Duty games have lots of prestiges. Like Infinite Warfare has 30 prestiges, where Modern Warfare Remastered has 20 prestiges but has 1,000 levels, which is completely ridiculous in my opinion. I really don't like that, because if you guys know me, I love to grind out Call of Duty games. I love to reach Master Prestige as fast as possible. I love to try and get Dark Matter camo like Black Ops 3. I was super excited when I got Dark Matter in that game. I try to get a high KD. I try to complete all challenges. I try to do my best to grind out the multiplayer in the Call of Duty games, and having two of them in 1 year is super overwhelming, especially, like I've already said, these games, because the prestiges are ridiculous. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to reach Master Prestige, or actually not necessarily Master Prestige, but the highest rank in Infinite Warfare, because I'm just been super busy in my life, you know. And there's also Modern Warfare Remastered. I don't play that much, so it's like I'm leaving out a Call of Duty game that I wish I could go ahead and play, but I have another Call of Duty game that I'm grinding on, you know. So I really don't like being overwhelmed with more than one Call of Duty game in 1 year, because every year we get a new Call of Duty game, unless they change their cycle where they skip a year or something like that. But in all honesty, I really don't like how they added two Call of Duty games in 1 year. It's just super overwhelming. So how I think it should work is that they should only, if they're going to come out with a remastered Call of Duty game, they should just keep that remastered Call of Duty game. If they have a new Call of Duty game on their hands right now, just keep working on it, you know, fix out all these kinks. Just keep the remastered Call of Duty game out just during that year. Don't worry about your new Call of Duty game yet. Just, if you're going to come out with a remastered Call of Duty game, just then bring it out. Do not bring out another new Call of Duty game, just the remastered one, so we can have a nostalgia feeling by going back to it and all that kind of stuff, you know. I think that'll just be a good thing. But if they're not going to do that, if they're not going to do my method where they're just going to have a remastered Call of Duty game and not the new game, and they're just going to instead do the same thing they did this year and have both of them, then make sure they're sold separately. The only problem with selling both of the games separately is that one of those two Call of Duty games is probably going to be better than the other one, right? And so more people are going to buy that other one than the other Call of Duty game, you know? So if they were to separate Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered this year, I guarantee more people will buy Modern Warfare Remastered than Infinite Warfare, because before Infinite Warfare came out, people hated the game already. Like, people already hated it, and people still hate it till today, even though the game's been out for a while. And so a lot more people would just hop onto Modern Warfare Remastered than Infinite Warfare, which is a little bit sad, and it's kind of a cheesy way that they kind of like, or an evil way that they just combined both the games, where the only way to play Modern Warfare Remastered is by buying the Legacy Edition of Infinite Warfare. So that's just my opinion on how they should use when they release a remastered Call of Duty game in the future. I really think it should only be that game during that year. They shouldn't release another Call of Duty game as well, just that remastered Call of Duty game, right? That's exactly how I think it should be. But anyway, finally going on to my second reasoning here is no supply drops. The reason why I say this is that because Modern Warfare Remastered, they have supply drops in that game. I really didn't like that, because it kind of makes it does add more variety to the game, but it kind of makes me feel like I should grind through it more, you know? I feel like I have to grind through getting all the weapons and all the calling cards that are locked behind supply drops and stuff like that. But so how I think it should work is that if you're going to remaster a Call of Duty game which originally did not have supply drops, then do not add supply drops into the game. I really think they should try to keep it as original as possible and not have like so much variety into it where supply drops could totally take over the game, especially since they add different weapons into supply drops, which I don't think is a good thing at all. So if they were going to remaster Advanced Warfare, which does have supply drops, I do think that they should keep the supply drop system in Advanced Warfare, considering it was a huge part of that game when it comes to gun variant and character customization. But I think they should make the supply drop system in Advanced Warfare a lot better, just because the supply drop system in Advanced Warfare was not very good, and I think they could definitely improve on that. Another reasoning I have is that I do not think they should add more prestiges, because Modern Warfare Remastered has 20 prestiges going up to 1,000 levels, right? Where the original Call of Duty 4 only had 10 prestiges, and I was not very happy when I first heard about this, because it just like, why are you adding more prestiges to the original game? To me, that doesn't really make any sense. I feel like they should keep the same amount of prestiges that the original game had. That's just my opinion, just kind of going through that really quickly. And then this last reasoning I have, now there's probably so many more reasonings I could put out there how remastered Call of Duty games should work in the future, but this reasoning I think would actually add kind of the like player base still active into the game throughout the entire year. So since this like a Call of Duty, since this is going to be a remastered game coming out, you know, like any of the remastered games, especially like Black Ops 2, let's say, Black Ops 2 has 4 DLC packs, right? I don't think that when they release, like let's say they have a Black Ops 2 remastered and they release it, that they shouldn't release the 4 DLC remastered packs as well at the same time. I really don't think that's how they should do it, and they probably won't do that either. Like, I feel like this is, and actually it's kind of funny how I actually remember this, but the third DLC, I cannot remember the name of it, but the third DLC for Black Ops 2 came out on July 2nd, which is funny because that is the exact same day as my birthday, and that's actually why I remember it. But the third DLC map pack for Black Ops 2 came out on July 2nd, so I feel like if they're coming out with a Black Ops 2 remastered, that they should release that third map pack on July 2nd of that year. And I feel like that's a really good idea. I really think that if they're going to release these remastered DLC map packs, they should release them the same dates that they did back then a long time ago, right? And that, like, July 2nd is just a good example just because I remember the day, and it's my birthday. But yeah, I really think that they should just release the map pack on the same day they did a long time ago, so that way throughout the entire year the players will actually have some more content in the game, you know. Like, same thing with microtransaction DLC. Like, Black Ops 2 had a lots of microtransaction DLC when it came to extra slots or DLC camos that you pay for like $1.99 or something like that, and I just think that they just spread those out throughout the year, you know, so that way there's still content being added instead of just placing it all at once, just because if you go back on Black Ops 2, all the content's already there, where I think they should spread it out if it's a remastered Call of Duty game. So I kind of went through those last ones really fast. Really fast. It doesn't really make any sense, but yeah, I kind of went through those last three reasonings really fast. But like the first one I said is, like I said, was the main reason for this video, was that I think that they should make it where it's the only Call of Duty game throughout the year and not another Call of Duty game. There should only be one Call of Duty game every single year. There should not be 2 Call of Duty games every single year. A remastered one and the new one, I just don't think that works out very well, just because for me it's overwhelming, like I said before. But yeah, those are my reasonings how I think remastered Call of Duty games should work in the future. I really think those are the main reasons I have for how remastered Call of Duty games should work in the future. Because honestly, like Modern Warfare Remastered isn't a terrible Call of Duty game. You know, I think they did a pretty good job remastering it with like updated graphics, some bug fixes that they did. But adding supply drops, adding more prestiges, I just really don't like that. I felt like that just kind of ruins the nostalgia experience that the original game had, and I just don't think that was a really good idea that they did. And not to mention, in the supply drops, they add new weapons that originally weren't in the game, so I don't know, I just really didn't like how they did that. So yeah, there you go, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment below what you guys think remastered Call of Duty games should work in the future. You guys have heard my reasonings. I only had like 4 of them. One of them, the very first one I said, was my main reason, which I really think is a really good reason, honestly. So, but yeah, just comment below. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on remastered Call of Duty games in the future. Also, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more Call of Duty videos later in the future. And I shall catch you guys later.